Hello fellow Hunters of the Blue, and welcome to my channel, and welcome to another basing video. It's been a while since I've done one of these videos, but I thought the Warhammer Quest Darkwater bases are distinct enough that a video on them would be interesting. And I was right. So, grab your basing materials and let's get cracking. Do you like Warhammer 40,000? Looking for a mobile game based on your favorite universe? Well, I have great news for you, thanks to today's video sponsor, Warhammer 40,000 Tacticus. Tacticus is a fast-paced battlefield gameplay in the palm of your hand. Assemble and lead more than 115 Warhammer 40,000 champions from 21 playable factions. There is no secret that my favorite are the Aeldari craft walls. They are just the best. Warhammer 40,000 Tacticus just won the Pocket Gamer Awards 2026 in the categories Best Updated Game, Best Community and Best Game We Still Play. But my favorite thing about Warhammer 40,000 Tacticus is that it's clearly made with passion and love. The developers keep introducing fresh content, exciting features, new game modes and challenging events all the time, like this new event for March 2026. On March 8th, Uthar the Destined arrives in Tacticus, and also, starting on March 18th, players can join a 2-week event battling Chaos factions against the enemy, the Adeptus Sororitas. Super cool! Join a passionate community of gamers and Warhammer fans by clicking the link below or by scanning the QR code on screen. Oh, and use the code Hidalgo10 for some juicy in-game goodies. Thanks to Warhammer 40,000 Tacticus for sponsoring this video, and let's get cracking! Well, as you can see, we are starting from the finish point of the previous tutorial, and now it's time to do the base. And the first step is going to be, as is tradition, to mix way too much Milliput putty. I don't recommend you use green stuff for this. I think Milliput will work better. Any Milliput-like putty will do the job. There are several that are basically the same thing. So we have this now fully mixed. What we want to do is to do a smooth layer of this over the whole surface. This might be the trickiest part because Milliput doesn't really want to stick to plastic or to paint, but just do it little by little. I like to pick up small pieces and use my fingers for this step. I don't use tools. I don't think they help in this situation. I'm done with that phase of sculpting, and first of all I'm going to clean all of the edges so we don't have any putty going like over the edge. I don't like that personally. And also we can do something really cool with a dry tool, metal tool, and the putty in this state with no water added to it. We can move it across the surface and take out some of the putty like that, creating that texture there, which I think is super cool to imitate like rippling water. And I'm going to do this always in the same direction, creating those ripples of water flowing through the model base, just like that. You see that? And I can do it more or less as I want it. There you go. With that done, we are going to add those patches of moss, so to speak, that the bases have, which we are going to do just using a basing paste. I'm using this Vallejo earth texture, dark earth. The color really doesn't matter because we're going to paint all over it. Just use whatever basing paste you have available to you. And I'm going to put a little bit of this in random places of my base. And I'm going to take an old brush and use it to press it down into the shape that I want and to feather out the edges. This is the finished texture I'm going for. You can see it here. But again, you can decide to do whatever you want as long as you like it. But I'm quite pleased with that. Now we need to wait for the putty to fully cure and the basing paste to dry. Well, all of the sculpting is now done. We have a lovely varied texture on our base, and it's time to paint it. As you can see, I did a base coat of Corax White. You don't really need it because we're going to paint all over this with a 1-to-1 mix of Sons of Horus Green and Sybarite Green. and I want a full layer of this. My layer of the base coat is now fully dry, and what I'm going to do now is a wash using Ink by Darkness mixed with 5 parts of Lamian Medium. This is 1 part Ink by Darkness, 5 parts Lamian Medium. And I'm going to do this all over. This is going to be my general shade here for the base. Our wash is fully dry, and what I'm going to do now is go back to my base color using a sponge. This is a makeup sponge, and I'm just going to sponge the color over. You can do a dry brush if you prefer. I don't think it matters too much. I just like sponging here. It's going to be faster than dry brushing, and it's going to get me a more solid color. Once that is done, I am going to do an actual dry brush using a Screaming Skull. And for that, I'm going to use my favorite dry brush set. You have a link there. You have an affiliate link to the Amazon store in the description where you can get this. These are amazing. You can see them. They are really well used. And these are as good as the Artis Opus brushes for 1/3 of a price. They come in a nice box with a sponge and everything. The ARTIFY 5-piece dry brush set has been my favorite dry brush set for a very long time. So I'm going to take a Screaming Skull, and I'm going to do a dry brush. On the sandy textures, I can go way more aggressive. A little bit dry brushing, a little bit stippling, you know. That pass with our dry brush is now done, and I can start adding the final steps on this lovely base. And I'm going to start with those sandy areas, which I'm going to hit with a layer of Poxwalker shade. If you want to make sure that you have a smooth transition, you can always feather out the edges here. I'm probably going to do 2 layers of this over these areas to ensure we have a nice green color. As I said, I ended up doing 2 layers of the Poxwalker shade. Now it's time to paint, to do the final details. For this, I'm going to do another mix of paint with Lamian Medium. This is Skarsnik Green with 5 parts Lamian Medium, same as our wash. 1 part Skarsnik Green and 5 parts Lamian Medium. But this time, I'm only going to apply it on the flat sections like that. I'm going to apply a little bit and feather it out. I'm going to try and avoid the shadows if possible. And I'm going to keep doing this until I am happy with the results. I am really happy with how most of it looks, but I think these like sandy bits need to be darker. So I'm going to hit them with some Oblivion Black Wash, which is basically like all Noon Oil. But if you don't have this, don't stress, just use normal Noon Oil. I think it's going to look just fine. So I'm going to apply over the same sections, and again I'm going to feather it out, just so we have a nice differentiation like that. There you go, much happier now. It really needed to be way darker than what it is. And with Plaguebearer's Flesh, I'm going to mix it one-on-one with Lamian Medium and do some patches here and there on the ground and on the edges between the ground and the water. I'm going to apply and feather out. Basically, just using this as a sort of a glaze on some bits to make it a little bit more yellowy and give the base a little bit more variety and a little bit more interest. You can, for example, skip this stage on the heroes if you want the terrain around the heroes to not have any drops or hints of yellow, which can be a cool effect, I think. So you do you. And to finish off my base, which I'm really happy with how it looks, I'm going to add some tufts. This is from Gamer's Grass. These are from Gamer's Grass from the Dry Steep set. But if you just want these ones, these are the brown 4mm ones. And I think they are a little bit too big, especially like these ones. Maybe for a monster stuff like that would be okay. but not for individual models, especially since we don't want to overwhelm the base. So one thing we can do is take these small ones, which are perfect, just place them around the vase like that. And the large ones, you can actually cut them. And just to finish it off, I'm going to take some of the Screaming Skull and I'm going to lightly brush the top of the tufts with this. Remember, kids, you have to paint your tufts. This is the final result, and I think it's very close to the box art bases. This was quite an involved process, but I will be honest with you, I had a lot of fun. And if you want to support me, you can check my Patreon, where I offer in-depth and cast tutorials and private classes. Help me and join the list of the coolest people in the world that you can see on the screen right now. I will catch you in the next one. Bye!